Hello Virgo, Turquoise Tarot here with your reading for 17. I hope you're all doing well. Just wanted to remind everyone that I have a special going on for private readings. If you're interested, you can check out the information on the website. And if you have any questions about private readings, you're welcome to email me, and I'll post both my website and email address in the information box below this video. But basically the special is I'm adding an additional minutes for free on a 3-minute reading, and I'm adding an additional minutes to a 3-minute reading. Those are the two reading types that I provide at this time. So you get additional time for free, and you can use that time to either ask an additional question, or you can use that time to allow me to elaborate on what your initial reading is. So if you're interested, please come check out the website, like I said, and you're welcome to email me if you have questions about that. They are video readings, so I create a private YouTube video just for you that you get to keep, so you can always go back and watch it and reference it at a later date. So I think it's a good value, but anyway. And if you're interested in donating to the channel, which is always greatly appreciated, I'll post the link for that below as well, okay? So now that I got all my announcements out of the way, let me say thank you to all subscribers and all of those who like and comment and share the videos. I appreciate you. I thank you. Let me go ahead and just shuffle here, and let's get started on the reading. So this is going to be a general reading first for all Virgos. This can be Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is just going to be a general spread, and then I'm going to do 2 additional spreads for love, one for singles and one for couples. So give me just a moment while I shuffle here and focus on the messages and energies for Virgo for the month of April. We're ready. So as I was shuffling, we have the Queen of Swords that popped out. I'm going to set this over here, and we'll see how it correlates with the other cards. We have the Sun card, 6 of Cups, 5 of Cups, 2 of Wands, Page of Wands, 8 of Coins, Judgment, 10 of Swords, and the 4 of Wands, which is a beautiful finish. And then we have, as the overall energy at the bottom of the deck, the King of Cups. So the way I'm kind of looking at this is it looks like I'm dealing with someone who is a water sign, possibly a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign. That you'd be dealing with from your past. And I feel like for some of you, this may be an ex-partner that you have children with, or this may be a partner that you presently have and you're talking about having children. I also want to say for some of you in the past, you were in a relationship with this water sign and you lost a child. And for those of you where this is concerned, my condolences. But this is something that's already happened and it's in the past. And I think whatever transpired between you and this water sign made you more of a stronger person. It made you wiser, and it also made you more I want to say you're more rational than you used to be when it comes to relationships or love or anything of that sort in regards to your emotions. Let's see what we have. I feel like you're presented with an opportunity to work on this relationship with this person from the past. Now, I'm not trying to say, even let's just say that sometimes this isn't a romantic connection. Maybe this is someone from your family. Let's say you were children. Let's say this could be a sibling who's a water sign. This could be a sibling. It could be, someone you've known a long time, a good family friend, or someone from your childhood. But this can also be an ex-partner that you had children with. So just keep that in mind. But I feel like there's some type of communication coming in about rectifying and healing the past with this person. There's an option here for you to possibly reconcile. And I feel that you are under the... I feel like for you, you still acknowledge the pain and the hard lessons you had to learn from that past relationship. So I don't see you actually giving this person an opportunity to come back into your life. I think for you, you're really focused on your stability, and I see that you're really focused on maybe your home or your home life, or I feel like you'd be spending a lot of time at home. That's where your focus is for. Now, I want to say for some of you, there's a warning here. If you do too much of what you are passionate about, you overexert yourself, and you find that you're stuck at home and because you're sick. Okay, so for some of you, this is too much working. For some of you, you're putting too much effort into work. You're not getting enough sleep. You're not getting enough relaxation and just fun time. So you're overstressing and overworking yourself, and then in the end of it all, you're going to see that it affects your body and it's forcing you to take a break. For some of you, I want to say be careful if you're doing any type of sporting activities and all, because I see some of you hurt your back and be out and stuck at home. Okay, and that's for some of you. And I feel like this is concerning water sports. So it doesn't have to be water sports, but to me, I get a strong inkling of water sports here. Let's see. You know, I think the universe is really beckoning, God's really beckoning for you to make the choice, a conscious emotional choice and mental choice, to find the good in what is surrounding you and find the beauty in life that's surrounding you. It's almost like I feel this message of look around you, the sun is shining, everything's bright, everything's glorious, the flowers are blooming, the trees are blooming, and if you would just take your eyes off of what's right in front of you and look around you, you could see the beauty in what's around you. And I think that objectivity will allow you to really see this situation with this water sign as it is. Because I think there's still a lot of like sorrow or pain or just a remembering of the tragedy or the loss that is affecting you, to the extent that you're not taking this opportunity to live life in the present moment. Let me pull some clarifying cards. Let's look more at this with the Gypsy Oracle cards and see what we can get. Let me look at You know what? Let me look at this Queen of Swords first, since she fell out while I was shuffling. Okay. So it's saying here that whatever, it's funny because the ending of role looks beautiful. It looks like you have what you're asking for regarding work, finances, money, but also completion of whatever this phase was with this individual, this water sign that you've been dealing with. So the Queen of Swords, she's already been there, she's done that, she's been through the heartbreak, she's been through the pain, she's come out on top, she's a survivor, she's also a fighter, she's a strong woman, and she doesn't put up with any BS. So it's kind of like, this could be male or female, so if this is you've been through, the trenches and you've come out, and this person's trying to maybe come back into your life in some capacity, but you don't trust them because there's something that happened that, just did it for you. You're done. So the Queen of Swords here, I feel like there's some type of fortunate turn of events with a contract or an agreement because somebody acted foolishly. So I want to say for some of you, if you're dealing with like an ex-partner, let's say, and you have children, you have a custody arrangement, this is saying that there's a fortunate turn of events for you because you've stood your ground and you've been who you've needed to be. You've stepped up to the plate, but you haven't taken any BS at the same time. And then here we have this saying, look, there's going to be a possible change in events or turn in events where this person comes back acknowledging their faults, acknowledging what they've done wrong, and somehow it benefits your agreement with this person. And if it's not regarding children per se, it's just saying here that there's some type of correction going on that benefits you. And I feel like it's because this person that you're dealing with, this potential water sign, is acknowledging their part in a mistake or in a wrongdoing. But you're not willing to give this person another chance because they've already burnt their bridges with you, right? But for you, there's some fortunate turn in events because they acknowledge their behavior. Let me look at the King of Cups. Yeah, see? That's exactly what he wants. We have the enemy. So you I'm not saying you look at him as an enemy, him or her, but you guys aren't the best of friends. Let's just say that. And they're wanting, this water sign's wanting a reunion of some kind. Maybe a romantic reunion if you were together in the past, but I'm feeling more like understanding one another and coming to a better place emotionally and in the way you communicate. And the old woman represents someone from the past, which of course resonates with what we see here with the Six of Cups, representing something from the past. So they're wanting to reconcile something. Let me look at the Page of Wands here in the center. Yeah. So, Virgo. This Page of Wands in the center for me is you. Because I feel like, this situation from the past, it fired you up. And you remember how this person left you feeling, but also this page is looking up at the Five of Cups. So you remember the pain, the sadness, or whatever you've endured during that time. So when this person tries to come back and reconcile with you in some way, you're saying, look, this is over. It's been over. We said goodbye in the past with the Widower card. Because you made me feel trapped. You made me feel less than, you made me feel sad. You did this to me. And with the friend card, I can say one of two things. It can either be that you agreed to build a friendship with this person, but nothing romantic or nothing further, or maybe you agreed to be cordial with one another, but not necessarily anything further. Or this friendship card can be saying that this is a time when you're choosing to be your own best friend, and remember what this person did to you, and saying, no, I'm not going to put myself through that again. Now let me look at the Four of Wands. We have wedding, thought, cheerfulness. Somebody's getting married. We have the Four of Wands, which is the wedding marriage card, but it can also represent home. But then we have the wedding card, which came out on top of that. Consideration of marriage bringing happiness is what I see with these three cards, the wedding, thought, and cheerfulness card. Somebody's getting married. Let me check this Ten of Swords really quick before I elaborate further on that. We have the young woman, letter, sigh. So let me just look here. A young woman, communication, some type of love communication. Again, it's rejected because this is the saying goodbye card, but this is a love letter coming from or to a young woman. A young woman can simply represent someone who's new, okay? But I'm seeing it more as innocence. Somebody who may be young physically, or maybe even mentally or emotionally, just somebody who's innocent in a way. Anyway, I think this person from the past realizes that when this relationship ended, it brought a lot of sorrow, and I think they wanted to work on rectifying something because you were the one who got away, maybe. Maybe they're wanting this kind of relationship with you now, where there's, commitment, marriage, whatever. But I see that when you get this love offer, you're rejecting it, because being on the Ten of Swords, saying here, you're done with this relationship. You're a different person today than you were when you were in this situation, or when you knew this person, okay? Now, if this is, again, a sibling or something not romantically related, this wedding card on the Four of Wands can just be saying there was some type of commitment that, this person's been thinking about, they want to make to you or with you, that they know would bring them a lot of happiness, a lot of fulfillment, but you're not, you're done with this. I think you're just really done. And I think this person realizes they've lost something valuable in you, someone valuable to them, okay? So that was a pretty long general reading. Sorry guys, I just got a little carried away, I guess. Let me go ahead and move on to the love portion for single Virgos for the month of April. We have the Empress, Death, Magician, Ten of Swords, Five of Swords, Three of Swords, Strength, Seven of Swords, jeez, Five of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Wands. Okay, so single Virgos. The first thing I'm picking up, and it's interesting because looking at this, just the 9-card spread, it's kind of, it looks very combative, and I couldn't figure out what's going on. Then with the Eight of Wands, here's the overall energy. I feel like what's happening is you are moving into a new relationship. There's a new relationship on the horizon but there may be someone from your past who is very jealous of this. And I think you may have an issue with someone from your past who still has feelings for you when you do meet someone new. Now that's for some of you. I see that for some of you, it's taken you a lot of strength to overcome past hurts, okay? But, oh, there's an ending. There's an ending here of shallow, I want to say, back and forth arguments and lies and what have you. I feel like maybe that's something you've already dealt with, and it's kind of like the cards are saying it's time to let go of these past hurts. I feel like it's almost like there's new love that wants to come in, but in order for it to come in, the cards are kind of saying you need to stop battling or fighting about something that happened in the past with a past person who took advantage of you. Maybe there was a lot of shallow, bitter arguments, and they were, dishonest or disrespectful in some way. And it's almost like the cards are saying you need to let go of this past, because this person, there's a new person wanting to come in, and God's wanting to bring a new person into your life, but you need to end this first for some of you. Others of you, again, there's somebody new coming in, but you may try to keep it secret because you're afraid of hurting someone else. So I don't know if you're talking to two people and there's one that, like let's say you're talking to one person and a new person comes in that you're interested in, but you're kind of keeping it to yourself for now because you're not serious with either. You're just kind of talking, you're just kind of seeing where things are going. But I think by the end of the month, there's going to be communication where the truth just kind of comes out, and there can be a conflict here. So be careful with that, because I don't think you're going to be able to get away with your secret for too long. Let's see what else I see here. Let's use these Gypsy Oracle cards and see what other messages come through. For some of you, I want to say, if you're dealing with a Leo from your past, I feel like this Leo is the one that is having a hard time with you moving on. If you find new love in for some of you, it's a Leo. Okay, so let me look at the Five of Swords in the center here first. Okay. Yeah, there's someone maybe from your past who wants a reunion because they see someone else has come in the picture. Now they're checking him out and saying, ooh, there's some, but if you see this guy, he's watching from a distance, right? It's almost like someone's spying. So he acknowledges that this other person is an enemy, in a sense, because they're wanting to reunite with you. So there's some conflict here. There's like a love triangle going on. But you're not really, if you're single, you're not committed to anybody. So you can do what you want. But if you're dealing with a strong, passionate person, that person think that, hey, I've known this Virgo longer and they're with me, or I don't know. I've been trying to get with this for so many months, and you just walk in the picture and think you're going to take that away? I don't think so. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Let me look at the Five of Rods here. Yeah. Five of Rods, there's battling, there's conflict, because someone is a lover, there's a new lover coming in. Again, the love letter, there's some love communication coming in, but it's putting an ending to something else, and it's also a transformation. So it's like where there wasn't commitment, there's going to be commitment. However, it's not going to happen without some conflict, because again, there's somebody around you that is interested, and I think you're going to become aware of that. I see you as the Empress here. So the Empress is about things coming to fruition, and our wishes being granted, and the things that we've been working for finally coming together. So if you've been wanting a relationship, working on finding a relationship, I kind of feel like this person just kind of waltzes in role, and it changes everything for you. Okay, so let's look at what's going on with the coupled Virgos. Okay, we got the Hermit, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Rods, the Strength card, 5 of Cups, King of Swords, 6 of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Rods. Bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Cups. So we got 2 10s here, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, which are my 2 favorite 10s in the deck. So they're good cards. But I feel like some of you're the Hermit here, coming up in the upper corner. I feel like you're really focused on looking at a relationship that you're considering leaving. You're asking yourself if you have the strength and the emotional strength, especially, to move on. I feel like you are married or you have children, and this is a strong relationship. There's lineage here, or there's a family here. So it's, even if you're not married, you have children. There's a higher level of commitment than just simply being in a committed relationship. In other words, you have an obligation to one another in some capacity, whether it's through marriage or children or whatnot. So that's the kind of relationship that I'm picking up with this reading. But you're considering leaving the relationship and possibly even moving out of your home, or even to like another state, because I feel like emotionally you feel drained. Emotionally, you're not getting what you need out of this relationship. It's almost like your emotions have been deprived for a while. And you're dealing with a man who can be very cutthroat with his words. He's someone who's kind of like hits below the belt a lot, man or woman. And there's just someone who's kind of ruthless, and I feel like they have a bad temper. And I also want to say that this is someone who may be promiscuous, or someone who sleeps around or struggles with like a sex addiction. It doesn't have to go to that extreme, but it can be for some of you. So you're trying to decide whether or not you want to remain in this relationship, and I really feel like there's not enough here for you to stay because, again, you're not getting what you need, and you're wanting the cups and the pentacles where it's, you know, fulfillment all round, but they're also signifying an ending of some kind to what you've built with this person. Let's look at this with the Gypsy Oracle cards. And I'm going to look at the Hermit first and foremost. Oops, dropped a couple cards here. Give me just a second. Okay, Hermit. Okay, so the Hermit is focused on, look, we have the Thought card upon the Thought card. How interesting is that? Thinking about having a conversation, a vital conversation, because it's a conversation that's going to change everything with this Misfortune card coming up next to the Conversation card. So you know that something needs to be done and it's going to be a drastic change, and you know that you need to possibly, again, have a conversation with somebody to let them know, hey, I'm done. Let's look at the King of Swords here. Yeah. This person, I feel like they need maybe some mental or behavioral health assistance. And I don't know why I'm picking that up, but when I saw these three cards, that's kind of what I got. Is I kind of feel like they suffer with some type of behavioral or mental health disorder, and I feel like they need assistance. I think they need some help. Whoever this person is that you're dealing with, your partner. Let me look at the Six of Swords here. Yeah. You want to be happy. You want to celebrate life. But in order for that to happen, you need to close this door and end this relationship because it's making you unwell. And I think you know that. That coming up on the Six of Swords says to me that you're ready for a change. You're ready to move on. You're ready to let this go so that you can heal. So that's what I have for you, Virgo, for the month of April. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, remember that I'm offering specials on private readings. So if you'd like a specific look at your situation, feel free to contact me or reach out to me via website. Both are linked below. And I wish you all a wonderful month, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.